Hi guys, it's Toby here from the Real Estate Club. Thanks for tuning in. So in this video, I'm going to show and explain to you how literally anyone can get into real estate. First, why would you want to get into real estate and invest in properties in the first place? Well, it's basically the business that has created the most millionaires in human history. So if you want wealth and financial freedom, real estate is definitely a great bet. Second, real estate can be a fairly simple and flexible business. So not only is it going to give you financial freedom, but also freedom in terms of how you want to spend your time. Like if you're passionate about something else in your professional career, say you have a nice 9 to 5 job, or you want to be focusing on building a consulting business, or maybe an e-commerce business, whatever, you can still get to do that and have your real estate making money for you actually. You could also spend time with friends, family, whatever. The point is that real estate doesn't necessarily require you to work on it 80 hours a week for you to make nice profits. Third, real estate shares some of the characteristics of amazing stocks or shares. Now, what is an amazing stock? In my humble opinion, a good stock is one that you can count on will give you stable dividends throughout its holding period. And real estate will definitely give you stable dividends because tenants will give you like monthly rent income, right? So you will actually get monthly dividends here. Also, a good stock is characterized by the fact that it is very likely going to increase nicely in value over time without you taking on too much risk and being exposed to volatility along the way. Now, real estate can actually do that as well, and typically it tends to at least follow the inflation per year as well. So back to the original question, how does one get into real estate? Well, first, that's the obvious one here, which is to simply go out there and buy a property. Maybe obtaining a mortgage, so like take on a loan, and then you are in essence the owner of the property. Then you can start making money either by renting the property out or alternatively flip the property. So like rehab it and sell it quickly at a higher price. Now, this video is, as you obviously know, titled How Can Anyone Get Into Real Estate? And I do fully appreciate the fact that not anyone is going to be able to or willing to take on thousands of dollars in debt. So what alternatives do we have to become real estate investors? First, you could consider teaming up with one or two, or maybe even more business partners to go out and find a partner who's also looking to invest in real estate. This could be anyone like friends, family members, or other acquaintances you know could be interested to get into real estate. The point is, by finding a partner, you will have access to more capital and more resources, and this, of course, makes it easier for you to go out and buy a property. But who actually said you have to go out and buy a property to make money off properties? The way I myself got started in real estate was actually to put my apartment up on Airbnb and also do long-term subletting. So basically, back in 2022, I was a tenant myself, and I was just paying a monthly rent towards the landlord. And then my task was simply to make sure that I could find a way to make more money from the property than the monthly rent I basically paid to the landlord. Now, the two common ways you could say to accomplish this, so like creating a positive margin between what you pay the landlord or owner in rent and what you actually make in income from having the property at your disposal. The common ways to accomplish this is typically to do either short-term rent out on a platform, for example, as I mentioned before, Airbnb, or alternatively long-term subletting. At the Real Estate Club, we also have an online course where we basically offer a online education for anyone who wants success with real estate. And in this course, we refer to Airbnb and subletting as an arbitrage strategy. So basically what this means is that you pay X amount for an asset and you sell that same asset to a higher amount to someone else without taking on much risk at all. That's like the core idea of arbitrage, where we of course operate with real estate as our context. I hope this gives you a high level understanding of the example from before. But again, just to elaborate and clarify, you don't really have to take on massive debt from a mortgage and own a property to get into real estate. All you really need is the access to real estate. And it is indeed not a prerequisite to have many thousands of dollars in savings to actually get access to real estate. The reason you want access to real estate is because it allows you to rent out the property and make those nice monthly free cash flows. Now, the last bullet point stated here as REITs and funds is a sometimes overlooked way to actually get exposure to real estate. So REITs stands for Real Estate Investment Trusts. And REITs are basically publicly traded shares of firms. Firms whose sole purpose is to operate a portfolio of real estate. This can literally be anything from commercial real estate, for example, like offices or shopping malls, but it could also be the more private sector, so like residential, so for example, apartments and houses. The idea is just that the firm distributes the vast majority of the cash it gets from the portfolio of properties. And the way the firm or the REIT distributes this cash is through dividends paid towards the investors who hold shares of the REITs or the firm. So this is actually a really nice and passive way for you to earn income from real estate investing. Some of the big and well-known REITs out there include firms like Realty Income Corporation, who actually pays out monthly dividends to its investors. And I also believe it is part of the big S&P 500 index in the US. And you also got REITs like Federal Realty Income. You got the one called Prologis. There's also American Tower, Crown Castle, LTC Properties. We also have one called Equinix, just to mention a few. The list is very long, and if you'd like the list of the best REITs and get smarter on which of these different strategies you should consider given your current situation and risk appetite, your current savings, then we got you covered at therealestateclub.com, where we basically offer one-to-one sessions where you can consult with me and my team on how you can get into real estate. And of course, you will also get access to hours and hours of valuable content on real estate through our online course, which is basically a masterclass in real estate. Anyways, I hope this gives you an idea of how you can get into real estate. Thanks for tuning in, guys.